You've seen all the reviews. You've watched all the 4K footage. It's time for the no bullshit review of the Lumix G7. What is up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to do another no bullshit review on the Lumix G7 over here. Now before I get started, let me just say that everything I talk about in this video is purely my opinion, other than when I'm talking about the camera specs, so just keep that in mind. But in this review, or this no bullshit review, I'm going to be going over who this camera's for, the relevance of the camera, the price, and some things that I wish that were changed with it. So let's get started. First, let me just take a look at this camera, describe it for you a little bit, for the people who haven't seen every single review like myself out there. But I do know there are a lot of reviews, and there are a lot of people purchasing this camera and putting their opinion out on this camera, so I figured I would do the same. It's small, it's very light, it's plastic, it's a 16 megapixel sensor on a Micro Four Thirds sensor. It records video, which is up to 4K resolution, which is probably the most desired feature on this camera, and that's why a lot of people have been buying this camera. It has a pull-out 3-inch LCD screen. It swivels around. It's touchscreen. It's extremely responsive. It's probably one of the best touchscreens I've used on a camera, if not the best. It's probably the best. The menu is nice to look at. It's perfectly done. It's a little in-depth, and it's, has a lot of options in there, but there's a lot of the stuff you don't really have to mess with for just the, amateur or the mid-range people coming in trying to make videos. So other than that, it comes with a kit lens. The kit lens is probably one of the best kit lenses I've used. I know I'm sucking this camera's dick off, but really, the touchscreen is phenomenal. The kit lens is fucking phenomenal. I've used Canon kit lenses, Sony kit lenses like the one I'm using now, and now this is my first Panasonic camera, and I basically got this just for video. So that's kind of what I'm gonna stick with this no bullshit review. And a lot of people that are gonna be watching this review are strictly watching it and want to buy this for the video alone. So I'm not gonna waste too much time on the pictures. I'm gonna get into that. But who is this for? Okay, well, this camera is basically, it's hard for me to say, but this is almost for anybody. It's such a great camera. It's like a entry level, almost mid-entry. I wouldn't even say it's mid-entry. Probably like an entry level camera. The megapixels aren't the greatest, so this is for somebody who wants to take good video. This is for anybody that is a content creator on YouTube, somebody who wants to start making some short films, maybe some documentary type work. Maybe you just want to start getting into film and you've loved film your whole life and you're just waiting for a good camera. This is an awesome video camera. That's what it's for. It does take stills, and it takes 4K burst stills, and it has a bunch of crazy options that I'm not really going to get into. But like I said, if you're even just a person sitting at home, want to film their kids, this is still going to give you phenomenal looking fucking video, and the pictures are good enough for most people. I mean, you don't really need to go and get a 24 megapixel camera unless you're really going to start blowing it up into like a poster size or something like that. That's when you start really seeing the sharpness degrade, and that's really what the megapixels are really go for, is the high-end bigger pictures. If you're blowing them up and you're really zooming in, that's when those megapixels really count. 60 megapixels is enough for most people. So like I said, anybody who's creating content on YouTube, amazing. Definitely, I would fucking suggest this camera. It's awesome. It's an awesome little camera. And anybody who's gonna make some short films, stuff like that. The relevance of this camera. This is something we need to talk about more than anything, not just who this is for. The person who's looking at this camera, it's probably for you. You just need a little push. This is what this is for. This whole review is to push you. It's a no bullshit review. Say some shit that I haven't heard in other reviews that is very important to this camera. So, the relevance of this camera, okay? 16 megapixel sensor, let's just get this out of the way. There are better cameras that take better stills, like the Sony Nex 7 that I'm using right now takes 24 megapixel stills. It's fucking phenomenal. I love it. A better camera than this is the Sony a6000, which I highly recommend. If you are for stills, definitely. I cannot say enough about the Sony a6000. The autofocus is phenomenal. It's lightning fast. It was said to have the fastest autofocus of any camera on the market. It is an awesome fucking camera. There's some really good glass for the Sony E-mount now, so definitely check that out if you're looking for a stills camera. I wouldn't suggest this camera. I would suggest the Sony a6000 or one of the next series, maybe the, like I said, Next 7 like I'm using right now. But for video, this is awesome. The 4K is relevant. You can get a jump on 4K before all the rest of YouTube jumps on it, and a lot of people are going to start migrating to 4K in the near future. So it's good to get a jump start on that. Another great thing is when you are editing 4K and you downscale to 1080p, your pictures or your videos are going to look so much better, remarkably better. You could zoom in and not lose resolution. You could pan sideways that people spend hundreds of dollars on a slide to get slide photography, or to pan down. You can do that within your editing software, and you can move it around and zoom in because it's 4K, and when you're downscaling, you can zoom in and you're not going to lose resolution. So that is fucking awesome. That is awesome, and not a lot of people know that. Now, the 4K files are big. I did a minute and 40-second video, minute and 30-second video a week ago. It was over a gig, and on my i3 processor, it took about 15 minutes to render it. Now, I tried different rendering techniques. I tried to render it in 4K. I tried to render it in 1080p. Rendering it in 1080p, rendering this video in 1080p just worked out way better. I don't know if it was just my editing software or what, but it seemed to work better. Actually, it could have been the memory card inside of here, because this Lumix G7 and the bigger brother, the Lumix GH4, both shoot in 4K. This basically shoots the same exact video as the GH4. The GH4 for the body alone is around $900 to $1,000. This is under $600 with a kit lens. So it's recommended to use those high-speed cards with the Lumix G7 and the Lumix GH4, and I don't have one of those cards. I'm waiting for it to get in the mail, and it still hasn't fucking gotten here. But it's a U3 high-speed 4K compatible SD card. That is what's recommended with this. Now, it takes pictures perfectly on a regular Class 10. It actually does record 4K video onto the Class 10 card, but I think there might be a problem uploading for the upload speed of the card. That I'm not 100% sure yet, but when I do get my card, I'm going to test it out and see how it is to upload the 4K, because I think that might be the problem. But for 1080p, even to upload the 4K and rip the 1080p is amazing and it's awesome. This camera is going to be relevant for the next 4 to 5 years. When everybody else is going to start coming out with 4K, Sony's going to start coming out with 4K, Canon, Nikon, all those guys are going to start coming out with 4K right now, you know, in the near future. You can jump on it right now and get a head start, and that is a fucking great thing, especially for content creators on YouTube who are looking to make their channels better. And that's always a race, it's always a struggle to try to get that best looking video. Now you can at least dabble with it, get familiar with it in your editing, just have a total understanding for the Lumix G7 and the 4K capabilities, and then maybe one day we want to upgrade to the GH4 or something like that, or even if you don't upgrade, at least you know it inside out, and when you do get another 4K camera or something, you're going to know it. You're going to know exactly what to do, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So the relevance of this camera is fucking huge, especially for online video. Now, like I said, if you're shooting short videos or like documentary style, this is still a fucking amazing camera. There are some great glass for the Micro Four Thirds cameras out there. They're pretty cheap, not the cheapest, and a lot of people using adapters with these cameras anyway, like a Metabone speed booster. I'm gonna have a turbo booster for my old FD lenses, so that's gonna be interesting to see what that looks like on here. Hopefully there's not much vignetting, but you know, I don't want to get too geeky on you. But this camera is awesome, and it's gonna be very relevant, especially for internet video. Now, the price. The price of this was awesome. I got this as an open box from Best Buy for what is it, $545. So that's fucking amazing with a kit lens. So you can get this anywhere roughly between, you know, $545 like I did, or about maybe $590 with the kit lens, brand new. You can find it on, you know, I got this on eBay, but Amazon. You can even just go into your local Best Buy and try it and feel it and see what it's like, you know. So that, 'cause that's a big thing, is just feeling the camera. But yeah, I think the price is great, and I think that for under $600 for 4K resolution on video, you cannot beat it. Like I said, for stills, there are better cameras out there, but this was bought for video, and that's what this is perfect for, and this is what's going to make a lot of people happy that are looking towards video. Like I said, a lot of people watching this video are looking at strictly for the video aspect and for the price, this is an amazing, amazing little camera. Now, certain things I don't like about it, and it wouldn't be a no bullshit review without me telling you the absolute fucking truth. So I could go on all day telling you what a great camera this is and what a great video camera this is, okay? But there are little things. One, it is extremely light. Now, I know a lot of the reviews said, yeah, this is a really light camera, but I didn't know until I actually got my hands on it, and I didn't go to Best Buy and pick it up. I just ordered it, because that's who I am. But that's not a problem. It's very, very fucking light, though. And it's plastic, so to me, I've used plastic cameras. I've used the Rebel series in Canon, and those are plastic. This feels like a toy. It's very thin plastic. It just feels so light and so just plasticky, but the results are beautiful. It is a great camera. Now, if you do need the metal, like aluminum housing on here and the weatherproofing, and you want a bigger size, obviously the GH4 is going to be where it's at. And if you do have the money, honestly, I would just go with the GH4. Just get it over with, future-proof yourself. You're not going to have to upgrade your camera for a very fucking long time. I think after the GH4, the upgrades on the Lumix GH series are just going to be kind of because I think the GH4, as of right now, has absolutely everything you need. These cameras are so close together. They're so similar. It's fucking insane. The GH4 is just a little bit bigger. It's heavier. It has aluminum housing, and it has like some headphone jacks. It has higher bit rates for 1080p, and that's fine. But it shoots exactly the same 4K as this camera. It's so crazy. I mean, there's so little things. I mean, the only thing that this really doesn't have is headphone jack. This obviously can't record forever like the GH4. The other GH4 will record for 30 minutes, but keep recording. This will shut off at 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So there's still that limit on here for video. But if people are making videos for YouTube or short films or anything like that, you're usually not using clips longer than a half an hour. That's just the way it is. Unless you're doing like a live stream or a live event or something like that, that's when you need the extra, time and the unlimited recording time. But this is an awesome fucking camera for the price, and it's absolutely fucking amazing. Like, other than it's being plastic and being light, there's really nothing wrong with it. Like I said, it has the best touchscreen I've ever used. It's super, super responsive. It's fucking beautiful. I mean, there's really not much more I can say. If you're looking for a video camera for video, and you want to make content for YouTube, and you want to just get some great videos of your family, and you don't want to spend a shit ton of money, because right now 4K it's this camera right here, the GH4 for, like I said, $900, $1,000 just for the body, no kit lens, or there's a Sony camcorder that records 4K, and I believe it's retailing for around $768, so almost $800. And I mean, this is amazing. What this can do for the price is absolutely mind-boggling, and I understand that Panasonic can't put every single feature on there, or no one would buy the GH4, but I mean, I guess some people would, just because of the weatherproofing and shit like that. But this is awesome. No bullshit. This is one of the best purchases I ever made, in regards to creating content and for my YouTube channel. I love my Sony Nex7. It has a mic input. It's working great for me, but this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get the head start, to get familiar with 4K, and I think you guys will love it too. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to hit that like button. It helps me out, lets me know I'm making content you guys like, and if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down and let me know. Let me know this is shit. Okay, and if you feel free to subscribe if you guys want to do that. It's no big deal if you don't want to subscribe, but if you do want to see more videos like this and want to be notified when new videos come onto the channel, subscribing is going to do all that stuff for you. So thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Peace.